Alright, so let's get this stream started. So this morning we've got the new NJT U34CH Hotel engines from GE, running on NJ Transit. We're just loading up the stream. We're just loading up the game right now, and I'd be more than happy to go take a live picture. Hello, sir. How are you? Alright. Why did it load up out here? That's not where we're supposed to load up. Whatever. Where's... Alright, so once we get the correct starting point of Hoboken loaded up, so we can run the original route, at least so they can run on the so they can run we can run them on the the Morristown line. Um, that'll work well. And then we'll get them running. So just for warning, just a little bit about it. So this add-on came out yesterday. Um, it consists of the Locomotive and Comet 1 cars. They did make the high door and the low door version. Um, I don't believe this train has any of the low doors in it, just the high doors. You install the repaints on earthworks before because I will. I do not. I have not installed repaints. If someone sends me repaints, I'm more than happy to uh, go over some repaints. Definitely use them. So this is the engine at Hoboken from the outside. Just a quick. Let's look around it really quick here. It's pretty nice. Um, I ran it a little last night just to get familiar with it before doing the stream. It's not too bad. It's better than a lot of the junk that comes out for this game. Just to give you a sense, we've got a bell. And the horn. Uh, if we hold the horn, there is a bit of a skip where it loops something, which is kind of surging the whole time, but whatever. If we go inside the cab and shut that bell off, actually know what that lever does. Yes, but whatever. Uh, so nicely detailed. Well, yeah, decently detailed. Um, so you could run this engine either way because you can actually see, which is nice. Sometimes when you get the problems with uh, the way they put the chairs in these cabs, it's so high up. The viewpoint you have, you can't see past the radiators and fans and shit in the back. So we can just run this engine right now. If we go into forward, release the brakes, and I'll give you an outside perspective. Do it from here. We'll give it a little throttle. She does go. It's pretty good. So this is kind of what you got. I'm gonna stop. back inside for a second. Shut that bell off. Now, these engines, if you know anything about them, had HEP generators, and the engines that would run them at roughly 900, I forget the exact number, but in the neighborhood of 900 RPM. You can simulate that here. If you move this switch, is it showing my mouse? I don't think so. If you move this switch here to pass run, and you look at the RPMs, it's going to ramp all the way up. Actually, I think it's 950, 960. It's going to ramp all the way up to that level, and now it's going to stay there. The sounds of the engine are going to be that high because it has to be that high to run that up. So now if we release the brakes, put on the bell, 2 on the horn, and give it a point of power. Bit notch power. Come on. And away we go. But the engine's constantly running at 960. But we haven't got headlights on yet, so I can just click the headlight button here, and they turn on. If I click it again, back headlights turn on, and the marker on the tail turns on again, and they'll turn off. But if you go in the cab, and you click the front headlight switch, you can drag that to dim. Go outside, they're now dim. And bright, and they actually get brighter. So, you do have some varying in headlight controls, and then on the panel in the back, on the back wall, you can also turn on more lights and switches and all that kind of stuff. Front glass, red warning, number lights. So if you want to, you can really light the whole engine up. Okay, anyway, enough about how to start the damn thing. Let's just run the engine. We're going to depart Hoboken. And in this consist, I believe we have all high door cars. We can let it go by and see what we have. So for some reason every light stays red whenever these are moving. But it does feel like DGG might have rushed this a bit. I know that, or hope you didn't necessarily dovetail, but the guys who created these engines, they do feel the outside of the engine is great. The Comet cars look a little bit, I don't want to say old because they're Comet ones, but they look a little bit, you know, like a quality from a few years ago, which is kind of unfortunate. but so be it. You know, what are you gonna do? So just for a little advice, these were created by DTM, not Dovetail itself. They're a third-party creator, and at this time, I do not know if we're gonna get a sound pack update from FanRailer. I don't believe so. I'll show you the inside of the coaches while we're here. So I'm facing the wrong way around. DTM. The inside's not too bad. But no smoking people. So, looking around the inside, we do have, let's see, where the ads should be, or just ads for DTM. It's fine, I don't really care. Seats aren't too bad, you can still hear that bell clear as day. What's this map? So this map is, whoops. This map is being modeled off of the old NJT maps that you would have seen. And these were actually around. I'm facing backwards in a seating. Oh, it's because the seats are designed to look reversible because they were. Okay. So the interior model's not too bad. I like that they have one. A lot of the... I guess that's mostly the older stuff that doesn't have the interior models. The exterior models I'm pretty happy with, especially of the engine. You know, fits the bill. They did put little things in, like you can open the windows. But the latch, you just pull it through the latch, unless you remember to open that side first. The horn sound effects, you know, on a newer engine, usually, or at least on a pro model, change if you have the window open, like it sounds like you're outside combined with inside. This one doesn't do that. Yep. Sounds exactly the same as with all the sound effects of the engine. You know, it's not big things, it's just little things, but sometimes it has to be said. Otherwise, they run nice, they sound pretty good. The horn is gonna drive me up the wall eventually, but you know, I like a good sounding horn. I like to be able to blow the correct crossing. Sequences and all that. Turn the gauge lights on. You can't turn the gauge lights on. Turn the step lights on and gap light. Okay. I don't know what that does. That seems silly. Where the hell would that light even be? I don't know. One thing that I did find, just playing around poking with buttons that is kind of cool, is you can turn on all the wipers individually, which is kind of... I don't know why you'd ever want just the center. Oops. Continuing. There are, I think, 4 scenarios that came with this. Those 4 scenarios are 2 round trips to Dover and back, each using the engine going outbound and the cab car coming inbound. And because this engine was retired by the 90s, they do not run mid-down direct. Obviously, you're coming into Hoboken. Obviously, that also gives you a diesel, but this thing's normal slog would have been coming into Hoboken all the time from that area. I'm just gonna go a couple of stops here. I'm probably just gonna go into Broad Street, then we'll quit out and load up. Well, then we'll go past Broad Street and go express so we can open the throttle up. Not that you can really open the power up, but I was playing with this yesterday on the corridor, just, you know, full steam, and it seems you can get it up to about 85 or 90. Full steam, and it seems you can get it up to about 85 or 90. So, we'll see how that works. For some reason, and I have not had this problem with other engines, it seems to want, I don't know if this engine in particular is drawing more computer power, like if it's running, I don't know, but it seems to lag the game more than others. I haven't figured out why yet, but I intend to try anyway. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. I don't, again, to be figured out. But the 3 cab views you have are the center, the left, and apparently this window is always open a little bit. Alright. I have no idea what that gauge is. I'm assuming it's some sort of power gauge. Yeah. So, that's how much power you're drawing. It doesn't actually tell you how much power you're drawing, but it gives you an example. If I just completely open let's see how fast we can hit 75 here. Yesterday I was able to tweak out the comfort gauge and get it like to basically give me a ride quality penalty just by throttling up. So it seems to not be as willing to do that today. I did, just for entertainment purposes, go straight to 8 earlier, trying to leave Newark Broad Street, and thought I was going to derail the train the way it jumped. Oh wait, that was the cab car. But from here, I thought I was going to like knock people all over the place because of how it jumped. It jumped bad enough that you saw the the virtual camera move back and forth in the engine. Okay, that horn. One thing I haven't tested yet is if I open the windows in here. Okay, so that's a plus. If you open the window outside, you do see the change made in the cab. Throttle it back so we don't overspeed here. Yeah, you can open the door. I believe you can open that one too. I haven't tried yet. Yes, you can. Get some airflow in this bastard. The brakes are pretty damn efficient. Hello, Mr. ND Productions. I'm in 14%, and we're slowing down at a pretty good rate. If you bring it up higher than that, it really starts to drop off your speed. The one thing about this engine is it's not hard to dump you out of. If you try and make an abrupt correction from the cab car end, it will send you out of comfort limits extremely quickly. Like I haven't played the career scenarios yet, but I'm sure it's going to be easy to accidentally lose points. So like I said before, I'm just going to go to Broad Street, and then we'll quit this quick drive change ends, and we'll take the cab car back into Hoboken. That way you get a feel for both engines. I'm not going all the way to Dover right now for this demo run here. No, sir. We'll be abroad in a couple minutes here. Just to give you a sense of the cards. But see if I just go straight up. Your RPM doesn't change, the amperage just changes, so it's just a matter of how much power it's getting from the... Not a single pair of Arrow 3s. So the cab car works quite similar. Same horn, a lot of the same sounds, but we'll let you see the cab car. And then just because that after we do basically the same demo on the cab car that just did with the engine, if people have questions, I'd be happy to do my best. Now I'm not the creator of this, but I'd be more than happy to do my best to answer them or figure them out right here on stream. Then I probably am going to run one of the career scenarios to Dover or what have you. Or back in, we'll see which end of the train we like more. And then we can play around with some other trains, some stuff. I don't know, maybe the Arrow 3s will come out. Run a set of Arrow 3s from Hoboken back out to Dover or something, I don't know. This is one of those spots on this line where they super elevate the curve and it dumps you out of limits like right away. It's so annoying. You try to run a career here, it's like comfort level minus, or passenger comfort minus points. It's like, I'm not minusing points. You have the curve screwed up so that you can't not lose points here. What are you gonna do? Yeah, we'll just coming into Newark Broad Street here. Unfortunately, at this point in time, we do not have the Montclair Booten line, or essentially the Booten line, because that would have been kind of fun to run with this. But the Broad will pop the doors open. At speed, the brakes are extremely reactive. At low speed, it does take a little time for them to kind of ramp up, and then you end up with more of a brake gap than you meant to have. But, you know, realism. Turn that annoying bell off. No, that actually sounds pretty good. We'll go to the back of the train view, and then we can pop the doors open. The doors on these things are like saw blades. Alright, let's quit this. We'll change to the cab car, and then we'll go back into Hoboken. Quick drive. So, this is the one that came with it. It only has the high door coaches on it. Did I make mine with a cab car with low doors? Can't remember. North America. Diesels. Oh, that's right. Oh. Cab car, 5 coach loader. Perfect. We're gonna go from Newark. Oh, that's right. Newark Broad Street. I forgot how they set this up. To Hoboken. Okay, start. This will also show you what the other coaches look like. This game is not smart enough to know that you don't open those at a level platform, which would really severely limit this train anyway, since there's only one coach with high doors. But this is probably the number one thing about this content pack that I like. Is that you have all the Comet 1 stuff, despite the modeling not being perfect. I kind of like the portals at Hoboken. Just thought I'd put that out there. There we go. Okay, so just to show you the difference, those are the high doors, these are the low doors. These were not designed to do high-level platforms, but they open anyway. I can put the HUD away for a second. As you can see, you got the traps here, no traps there. But somehow you can still, I mean, it's a bit of a step. It's a pair of scissors. Alright. Oops. So this is what the cab cars look like. There's that map again. I have tried, I cannot get that to open. Not like waiting for arrows. Thank you. Release. Give it a point. Same bell. Speedometer is up here. You got a sunshade that, as far as I can tell, does nothing. And this is where I mean you can launch yourself into space. Oh, sorry. If I bring up the big HUD, can I just slam it into 8? Well, I've already shrunk the train, so hold on. Like, compress the train. Stop. Just slam it into 8. You know what I mean? What is that kick? So you can do stuff like open these windows. You cannot open the doors. You cannot open the door. And you cannot open that. You can't put this seat out, though. Which I've just apparently broken. Oh, nope, there it goes. Like a friggin' rocket. These don't do anything. Pedals don't do anything. Your gauges are down here. Conveniently, if you're looking straight out and see the speedometer, there is no way to see where your throttles are, or where your handles are. So, you know, that's the bell if you like manual things manually. Headlights, same control. If you want to be able to change the intensity, you have to do it by hand. That doesn't do anything. Wheel slip, doors closed. right wiper, left wiper. Why you wouldn't put the button for the left wiper on the left side? You can move over here. Is beyond me, but I'm assuming that's prototypical. You can also unfold the engineer's chair. Again, it's like a rocket going off under his ass. I don't think you can make him sit. Oh. Driver's seat. That's insulting. This one is cool how it will let you sit in the cab car so you can actually see out the front window. Yeah, never having rode on these, I would assume that's like a bathroom or something. But I don't really know. This is just a really old NJT map, I guess. I do like that they have that, though. That's pretty awesome. And I don't think these lights can turn off. If you do want the taillights to come on, you do have to come into this engine. Come back to the other engine. Put it back in passenger mode. Turn the lights on. It will change the sounds. It will not change the RPM numbers. No. NJT should be on Train Sim World. It would be nice, but I highly doubt that they're going to do that because they created the whole thing here. And they sort of created the whole world here. I wish that they would finish what they've started in Train Sim World with New York community stuff. Like the corridor and the Long Island Railroad. But, you know, so be it. I don't know why you've got reds on every car all the time. But it's a little weird. You do also get these circles from the headlights that are interesting. The thing that confuses me sort of the most about the fact that the reds are always on is I think they turn off when the doors are open. So I'm not sure if that was deliberate or somebody made an oops. But what do we got sitting around? Dual mode. Cab car on that end. Wonder where that pair of Arrow 3s wandered off to. There's a multi-level cap car. They're dual mode. Now, if we pop the doors... Okay, apparently it doesn't acknowledge that this is even a platform. Nice, guys! Alright, I was going to try and show you, but... Thing's gone. So the thing you have to remember when you're running these is that there is a lot of power coming out of that engine. So you do have to be a little bit careful in your operation. I don't know what the big red button does. Unfortunately, it doesn't agree to anything. I was experimenting in the cab earlier, and I'm playing around with all the buttons, and I'm like, okay, if any button does anything, please let the big red button do something. And I'm like clicking away on it. It doesn't do it. No. It's a penalty brake reset, but I don't think you can actually get one. I mean, Metro North they have for regular train sims. I don't see why it wouldn't come out for World eventually. Um, I'd like to see them finish Metro North for Train Sim 2020 first. I think there's a... If you've seen one of my other... I don't remember if it was here or Twitch, but I put out a video where I was playing with the destination signs on the sides of the cars, and I believe it was the M7, where you could set it for North White Plains and Southeast. I think you a Brewster. So I don't know if that's because they just figured we'll do this all at once in case we make it, or because they're planning to make that at some point. But you can sign up a train for Southeast, so we'll see if that ever happens. Yeah, SEPTA would be kind of cool. The thing that I most want to see, honestly, though, for Train Sim World is the continuation of the Long Island Railroad. And second to that would be an actually practical part of the Northeast Corridor. Whether they want to go, south to Philadelphia or north to Boston. I mean, there's another train simulator game that I play called Run 8. And that's mainly based around the freight railroads on the West Coast. But they have content a lot like this, where you have a route and all that. But when they make another one, it's combined. It adds into the world. So you have Right now, I don't know if people know about all of that kind of stuff, but they have the you can go all the way from the Seligman subdivision, which is sort of the California-Arizona border, all the way the to LA, which is, if you don't know, it's about a 6 hour run. So, and people do it. Not the most common thing to sit there for 6 hours, but everyone runs parts of it, and you can go from any part to any part, which makes it really awesome. I would love to see Train Sim Worlds sort of evolve in that direction, where you could run something from, Boston to Washington if you wanted to, or do the commuter service in between. Keystone would be awesome, because they don't have Keystone yet. If they made it contiguous with the corridor. So if you made the corridor from New York to, was it Harrisburg? That would be awesome. And they've got the cab cars already. So I thought that when TS World Long Island Railroad came out, we would be a short distance away from seeing either Hicksville to Port Jeff and or Oyster Bay, and having the diesels come out. That's what I thought. Apparently I was wrong. I was also kind of hoping that we would get a continuation to Ronkonkoma, the Babylon line, something more. Um, yeah, but apparently not. So if anyone watching this has any influence over what route is made next for Transit World, how about a suggestion to them of more Long Island Railroad? Because I remember when I was, I guess we'll find out. I remember when I was a little kid, hearing for Microsoft Train Simulator people begging for the Long Island Railroad. And I would love to see some of that actually created more than we have today. Because, in all fairness, what we have today is kind of a nice taste, but it doesn't really satisfy sort of the desire for Long Island Railroad. The other thing I want for Long Island Railroad is the M3s. I think they missed out and are missing out on a big opportunity without those M3 cars. They are so historic to the railroad that they're missing a big opportunity. It's kind of like when they put out this route in the first place, the Morristown line, and everyone was talking about, oh, maybe the Arrows, maybe the Arrows, maybe the Arrows, and then it was quite a long time before the Arrows came out. And I think they were even third party developed. I can't remember anymore. I think the M1s and the M3s may be some of the most iconic cars if you're from anywhere in the New York area, because they ran for so long. Um, you know, and they were a pretty newish idea when they came out, being high level platform only, and all that kind of stuff. Where did I bring us in? Same track we came out of. Wait, huh? I mean, I bet if Long Island Railroad had come out for Train Sim 20, like the regular Train Sim, not World, we would have a lot of third-party developers coming out with all that by now, and that would include, I would assume, routes like Port Jeff and Oyster Bay and Montauk potentially. I mean, at some point, I'd love to see the whole railroad done, so you could go from Penn to Montauk. And I know that's a long run, but there's people that would do it. You know, run the cannonball and stuff like that. Just bringing this back into Hoboken here. Good enough. Pop the doors. So, yeah, the traps never move on the high level, on the high door cars. And then, obviously on the low cars, they only serve the purpose for low platforms. So that's what we had. And okay, that ends this quick drive scenario. Just because the quick drive scenario is over does not mean the stream is. We're going to go into... Do I really want to go to career mode? The rush hour is about to end for today, but there's still many tired people. Get on the rest, take your powerful, yada yada yada. As fast and save as possible. That is fantastic. There's a typo in the description. What's this one say? It's called Good Morning. This is your first service today. Driving your grab a mug of coffee, turn on a heater, and enjoy the view of dawn on a snowed landscape. Can I just point out that there is a typo in the description? Cab doors. Tomorrow morning. First trip of the day with a commuter train from Dover to Hoboken. Driving the Comet 1 cab car. Have a nice trip. Okay. Sunny afternoon. You must take the 538 back to Hoboken. As usual, a train going to Hoboken. You drive the cab car. Great. I'm thinking engine. I want to drive as fast and save as possible. So I'm supposed to drive as fast as possible. Does that mean I'm an express? Now that we have these, for those of you who have seen the content that I've put out route-wise into the workshop, where they actually have the AI trains running in real time, the schedule the other way. We'll look at these scenarios, see how they do, and if they are good, then fantastic. We'll leave it at that. If not, I'll still add my own over the coming days. But if we don't like them, or they're not that realistic or something like that, then to hell with them. And pick up passengers here. Remember to turn on HEP using the switch. Oh, you can press Q to turn on HEP. That's easy. Q. Okay. Passengers. So now we have a green light. And no light. We have a green light on the... Alright. Game, you win. Oh wait, no, the headlights are over here. Oh, Jesus Christ. They put in every interlocking. Newark Broad, South Orange, Maplewood, Melbourne, Short Hills, Summit, Summit interlocking, Chatham, Madison interlocking, Madison, Convent, Morristown, Morris Plain. Really? We even make Tabor? Denville, Dover. Alright. I'd be willing to bet that everything we're going to pass is going to be common ones. When they first started coming out with TS World stuff, it seemed to be they would do one of each of the three countries, like UK, Germany, then the States, then UK, Germany, and the States. But then all of a sudden they got fixated on the California stuff. So yeah, everything's gonna be common ones in here. How many of these engines do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We passed the other ones. That was 6, 7, 8. There's 8 here. There were like MBTA for TSW. Bring it on. I'm one of the, I say build everything you can for that. You know, I think they're missing big swaths of the market by deciding sort of trying to decide where to build routes. It's like instead of building putting them out and making a big deal about putting out new routes for the thing. I know they cost a lot to make, but how about you make some more? Or I have the better idea: release the editors, and then people can make them. We wouldn't have some of the best TS 2020 stuff, or 2019, or 2018, or whatever, a regular train sim, if the editors weren't out. We wouldn't have the arrows, we wouldn't have these, we wouldn't have the M2s, we wouldn't have, you name it, we wouldn't have it. And it's not like people design this crap and then Dovetail makes no money off it. It's still being made for your game and sold by you for your game. Put out the editors. You've told everyone for months you're going to put out the editors. I need to get off my soapbox. But you've told everybody for months you're going to put out the editors. Put out the editors. You'll sell more copies of the damn game because people are making more content for it. I've done these streams plenty, and I've done them with Train Sim World, and the number one complaint that people always say about Train Sim World, and, well, I'll buy it, but, is there's not enough content for it yet. There aren't enough routes, there aren't enough engines, and to be quite honest, you put out the cab car unit for the Northeast Corridor run. There's nothing to do with it, right? It's, whoop-dee, I can go to Newark Airport, where I don't even think the damn thing stops. In fact, I'm 99% sure it doesn't stop there ever. Because it's only used on Keystone trains. So, it's you're sort of putting stuff out for it and hoping people buy it, but it's not what they're asking for. You know, people want to see more routes. I want to see flexibility. Damn it, I want to be able to run stupid things in places. You know, I want to be able to take one of the work diesels the freight diesels they have and run it through Penn. But there's a red signal in the way for where the tracks interconnect, and you can't do it. I've tried every which way. And for me, the worst part of the Northeast Corridor is the part they put out. They put out the slowest part of the corridor that there is, you know. And then right before it speeds up, they cut it off. So if you want to get people excited about this, build a route with some distance. You know, if you're going to build a route for trains that run between, 75 and 125, give us some distance to get them up to that speed. The Hellgate Bridge is not a very fun part of the Northeast Corridor to run a train over. You're climbing grades, you're having to speed up, slow down, give it power, take power out because of the constant grade change. And when you're running a train that's as powerful as a Northeast Regional train, you just want to open a tap up because that's what it was designed to do. You can't do that there. There's nowhere to do it. By the time there's that little section that I think you can do 80 on or 90 or something like that. But by the time you're speeding up, you're slowing down again. Now, Steve, your last comment, consoles want the editor too. That, I think, is probably the number one reason they're having trouble with it. Is with a computer you can do so much more varied stuff. And with the consoles, it has to be more limited. I appreciate, and I first had Train Sim World on the console. I had it on my PS4. And I'm very glad that it came out for PlayStation 4. Because I didn't have a computer at the time that could run it, frankly. But I think that might be part of the stumbling block. They also had said when they first started this whole thing that we were going to see multiplayer. Now they're not even admitting that they're ever going to come out with multiplayer. They're like, yeah, eventually. Well, you sort of said that when you told people to buy it. Was, here's the things we're coming out. We're going to be coming out with the editors and multiplayer. We've got a lot of short, stumpy routes. And no editors and no multiplayer. I would much rather see the editors than multiplayer. But, come on, guys. You make promises to get people to buy your product. You really should come out with it. Yeah, hopefully Train Sim 2021, Train Sim World 2021 will come out with some significant improvements. Personally, you won't, from my channel, you're not going to see much Train Sim World stuff anymore. Because at this point, I have sort of limited my Train Sim World content to only Northeast-based stuff, maybe stretching to all of the U.S., but I'm not buying all these Europe routes at this point. The game is just not there yet. Any of that kind of stuff. I'll give you that. Caltrain route was nice. The cars and the engine that came with the route were nice. the baby bullet train that they came out with is just sort of, yeah, I have it, but it's like, why? I had originally gotten that because I thought the first one was really good and wanted to sort of see how they would build off that for the additional. But train going the other way. I think 9. For like the additional routes or for the additional train, and they really didn't. I think they definitely didn't raise the bar. If they lowered it, they may have even lowered it. I've played with that engine a few times, and I just don't find it worth the time, really. To be quite honest, I wish Train Sim World had lived up to it. I wanted nothing more for years than what they advertised Train Sim World to be. I just wish they had lived up to their ad. And at this point, I don't think it has. And yeah, I'm happy to say that to anybody who asks. And I'm happy to tell you, as I have been saying, exactly what I think about it. And if anyone has watched some of the streams I've done late at night of Run 8, where I'm playing Run 8 with friends in multiplayer mode, that's sort of what I was hoping Train Sim World would live up to. That it didn't. Sort of where you could run whatever you want, where it was really a world. You could walk over to this engine, pick it up, and run. If you wanted to change engines, you just got out of the one you were in, walked over to another one, started it up, and went. You know. And then Train Sim World's got some really weird quirks that the older train simulator or the regular train simulator doesn't. If you've ever, they encourage you to walk around the world in Train Simulator World, right? That was the whole concept. You're finally free from your engine. Like you're free from the cab. You can get out. You can explore. Well, I took the liberty of doing that and decided to go try and railfan something. And I was standing on the platform somewhere on Long Island, New Hyde Park, I think it was, watching, just just watching the trains go by. In reality, I think I was eating dinner while this was happening on the computer screen. Whatever. And I started to notice after a little while that the gates, I kept hearing this dinging in the background. And it turns out, unlike in regular Train Simulator, where once the train leaves the block, the crossing gates go up, in Train Sim World, they're constantly down. So it's just weird little quirks like that. Anyway, approaching Newark Broad Street. I will now get off my soapbox and just go back to this game. But anyway, this engine is actually pretty nice. I'm enjoying this. I do something with the hiccups, so I'm sorry. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. Usually that bar fills up all the way. Okay, I guess we're good to go. Make sure the doors are closed. Yep. Because the light here that says door closed does not appear to work. Not gonna pull. And another sign. Hey. Speed limits and then Morristown line. Can be a very confusing thing. Hopefully that route gets built someday. If they wanted to make that route, I would definitely get that. Because you don't know what that is. It's the Montclair-Booten line. Of course, with these engines, it's not quite correct. It would be the Montclair line and the Booten line. Hello, YT Raider, or Y Trader, or however you want to pronounce that. It's very weird they left all the Go Vias in here. Okay. So it looks like we're going to be a limited stop, because our first stop is Orange. What is this? East Orange. Well, thank you very much. Jordana Photography. I do appreciate that. Just leave the bell on because we're going to be making a whole bunch of passing a couple of stops here. We're passing now Brick Church. Yep, this is the new locomotive, the GE U34CH New Jersey Transit. And this is one of the career scenarios. Whoops, no, that's like Island Avenue. These local platforms make you feel so high up. That's the 10th one of those engines we've seen today. I'm convinced that if they run a real schedule of any kind with only this equipment, they're going to use up more engines than actually existed. That sun is blinding. Engine's off, but the train's on. Let's go. Go via the what? West Parker Avenue recess. Where the hell is that? Well, that was squeaky. Maplewood, then Melbourne, then Short Hills, Summit. I don't get some of this. It's the real life timetable from 1988. Well, that's cool. Alright, so there you go. I'll give that props. I can't beat that. So yeah, so apparently it's the real life timetable from 1988. Okay. That'll shut me up. Damn fly in here. Why the hell did I just lose 3,000 points? Like, huh? I lost 3,000 points on a timeliness penalty? Now we see why I'm not going that fast? And brakes. I was supposed to get a 1942. See, I like that they're based off a real timetable. That's awesome. Like, that's dedication. I mean, I can run it like a freaking crazy person, but I was trying to run it like a real train. Yeah, whatever. I guess that's why it says as fast and as safe as possible, because it's just a matter of going literally as fast as humanly possible. See, if I go faster than 60 right now, I have to then slam on the brakes to make 30. Okay, so now I have to start slowing down for 30. Alright, I guess you just have to run it a lot more aggressively than I was to make time in this thing. Question, in 88, would this service be run by diesels? Or would it have been run by multiple units? Because if it's multiple units, you can run that with a little more gusto than you can with this. I mean, I can just run it straight to 8 every time, but let's see if I can get closer to time this way. It's nice talking to you. Have a good day. Happy German forwarder. You like Caltrain. Okay. Anything particular about Caltrain you like, or you just like Caltrain? It's just an impressive amount of Driving like a shithead you'd have to do to keep the timetable like this. I'm not entirely sure it's possible. See, because now I'm going to get dinged for drive quality because I need to accelerate like that. This is the Morristown line for New Jersey Transit. And we're running with the new engines that just came out yesterday. Ow, single rat. Found that fly. This might be the lowest score I'll ever get on a run. Maybe like negative 6,000 or something. Alright, when do you think you're going to have those? Everything US Trains Pro, when do you think those repaints are going to come out? So I'm running about 5 minutes late. Let me know when it comes out, and I'll do a stream for it. It breaks. You know what would also be nice for this game? The main line and the Bergen line and all that stuff. Just on a completely random note. Entire NJT. I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. You know, but I feel like we have a lot of the. We don't have the Raritan Valley. So what, we have the Morristown line, and the. Well, we've got the corridor, and the North Jersey coastline. So we got three. They don't have the main line, Bergen County, Boonton, and Pascagoula Valley. I think the nicest add-on would be the Boonton line to just sort of finish out the area they've already done a lot of the work on. And it would also be a very nice place for engines like this. You know, you could run. I doubt they would make the lower Boonton line like it used to be, but even if they would just make the Boonton line like it is today, still run diesel power up that way. And because it splits off after Broad Street and cuts back in at Denville, and it's just like a bypass, sort of. It would just be a nice inclusion to have. Got him. Seems like straight to 4 or 5 is about as far as you can go without getting penalized. I think for all the rail, people keep saying that, you know, I wish this would come out for World or that would. I feel like if already a lot of the railroad is built for this one, you know, the regular train sim, the rest of it should be completed for the regular train sim. If you haven't yet, or you started World like Long Island, then build the whole thing for World. You don't need this duplication, if you will. That being said, they seem to only want to build stuff for World that's like 10 feet long, so it does beg the question, if it was created for Train Sim, could we have Penn to Montauk. See, this is so not how you're supposed to run a train, but whatever. I'm not gonna be able to get back on schedule, but you guys do it closer. But I mean, I'm running it like a freaking crazy person right now, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting farther. And the guy's looking at his watch, and then looking at the train, he's taunting it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, man. It's New Jersey Transit, what do you want? Convent Station, 2 miles. I was 5 minutes late as the last time check. If I'm 5 minutes late at this one, or worse, it means it would be extremely hard, if not impossible, to keep this timetable at this rate. Because I've basically gone straight to 8, leaving every station. And then full service handle off brakes. You know, suppression handle off coming into every station. Yeah, I'm gonna overshoot this one, period. That first door to first car is off, that's it. That's not too bad. Get that released. So I'm making the time up, but not in any fast way. I'm not even sure how I gotta go back and watch the video later to see where I lost all that time. Start slowing down pretty soon here. Try to make this without having to stop like a crazy person, you know? 17. We want to try and get up at 29. Not gonna happen. So we gotta make Tabor, Denville. Like, that just took a few seconds just for the damn thing to acknowledge that I put it in 8. Yeah, I don't know how you turn the lights on in the coaches. Tap solid. Two miles left. 2.25 Tabor. Two miles to Tabor. I think that says 40 after the 50. Yep. Yeah, 29's not gonna happen. Hmm, 35. Another estimate. I really don't like this one. Alright, where are... There's Tabor. Now, Tabor is hard because you gotta line up... Oh wait, no, I'm on this side, so I can actually put most of the train on Tabor. The other way, it's like one door. Basically the plan here is we're going to get to Dover with this, and that'll be the end of the stream for for now. I'll go over a little bit more what's going to happen with the channel in the next coming days, in between Denville and Dover. Yeah, but so once we get this train into Dover, that will be the end of the stream for the day. Okay, so going the other way, you gotta line up to one door. Damn it, the one time I spot the engine to the end of the platform. Well, it's good enough. Two cars wrong is good enough for me. Alright, Denville next. Good enough. Just stop. See, there's the boot line connecting back in. Dover's up this way. There we go. 60 to Dover. Alright, so basically, just want to go over a little bit about what's going to change with this channel in the next, for the coming future. As a lot of people are aware, I've been posting a video basically every weekday morning. A lot of that stuff has been in the recent days has been footage that I've had for some time that I haven't posted for one reason or another. For the most part, that's gonna end. I am running out of content that I have saved, and as pretty much everyone at this point knows, right now with the COVID-19 virus out there, I can't really spend the time in the subway that I need to generate that kind of content. Hello, Sarah. How's it going? So that kind of content is really not going to be creatable for the next, we'll see how long this goes on for. This channel is going to become, I am still going to do some filming. I'm going to try and get out on Long Island where I can be a little more distanced from people while filming, so we might see some Long Island Road stuff come up. But it is going to be a big problem for me. You are going to see more of this sort of train simulator gaming content, because obviously that I can create at home. And we'll see where we go from there. I want to be bringing out more content to you as often as possible, but this is a hard time. And even if I could go into the subway, they're barely running. If you don't follow this kind of stuff, I believe it's the 2 train today is on like a 30-minute headway, or 30 minutes between trains. So there's not really a whole lot to be filming down there. Again, hopefully some Long Island Railroad stuff in the coming days, and more gaming. But until this whole virus is over with, I really can't be in the subway filming. I also live with my elderly mother right now, throughout the course of this, because I was furloughed from my job. So it makes the whole thing difficult, alright? So yeah, I hate to end this on unfortunately I'll be seeing less content. The hope is you won't be. I should be able to be putting out just as much content from sort of Train Simulator World, Run 8, and those kind of platforms. But, unfortunately, that's the world we're living in right now. All over the globe, this kind of thing is happening. So, that being said, the next stop is Dover, and I will be signing off at Dover. And tonight I'll probably stream some more Run 8s. If you seen my Run 8 streams in the past, you know they're different. It's more I'm playing with friends, and you can watch the unfoldings. Usually yard work, drilling cars, that kind of thing. We're also on TeamSpeak shooting the breeze. So if you want to tune in for that, those happen pretty much I log in there somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m. Usually stays between anywhere from like midnight to 4 a.m. that stream goes on for. And that's either going to be here on YouTube, or I will do that on my Twitch account, depending on sort of the popularity of it. The gaming streams that I've done in the past over on Twitch will be moving back to YouTube until we get through this whole COVID-19 thing. Alright, so with that being said, this is Dover. We're now approaching Dover Station. This is the last stop on this train, as well as the last stop on this stream. So, I'll take this opportunity to thank everybody for joining us today for the unveil of this new locomotive and coach set, and I'm going to hit for speeding. Anyway, so thank you all for watching, and have a good rest of your day.